Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Autumn. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So today we are going to talk about the new NARS Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. Now I did pick this up in two shades. I picked it up in Bay and Cove. Both are like light to medium shades, and these powders do retail for $36, which I feel like is kind of a lot for just a setting powder because they are not a powder foundation, they're just a setting powder. That being said, NARS claims that this is a multi-purpose skin perfecting powder that blurs imperfections, smooths the look of skin, and sets makeup for up to 24 hours. There is cocoa butter in it, there is niacinamide, and there's adaptive oil control technology. And yeah, they say it's non-cakey, non-drying, and that's really it. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but to summarize, that's really it. These are the shades. So this is Cove, and Cove is described as, I want to say, a light with a warm undertone. And then I have Bay, which is medium with a warm undertone. You can see it's like straight yellow. And I do have them on my face right now. I did use Bay to set my face, Cove as like a brightening powder under my eyes and like in my highlighted points. And I don't want to talk too much about how I feel about it. We're gonna get into application, and then we are gonna see how it wears. I've had it on right now for about an hour, so you guys can see how it looks, you know, after it warms up to my skin some. I will say I do think it's very pretty, but I'm not gonna touch on how it wears, how it applies, anything like that. This is just the intro, and we're gonna get into the rest of it right now. So like I said in the intro, I do have two shades of this powder. I have Bay and I have Cove. Now Cove is described as a light with warm undertones, and then Bay is a medium with warm undertones. So the way that I do my makeup is I do everything, bronzer, blush, contour, foundation, all of that. The only thing I set is my under eyes, and then I go and I set everything at once. So I don't set my foundation before I put on like my bronzer and my blush, and then I kind of use a powder to blend everything together. That's just what works for me. You do what works for you. So this is what the packaging looks like. Typical NARS, like that soft matte type of feel. The powders retail for $36 a piece, like I said, so they're not cheap. So hopefully they work. So I picked up Cove. I've been wanting a brightening under eye powder. My under eyes are a little bit brighter than I usually do them right now because I used the wrong shade of concealer, but this is Cove. So it's light and it has like a peachy yellow undertone. And then this is Bay, which Bay is like straight yellow, but that's how I like my powders to be honest. So I'm not complaining. Let's see. Yeah, that's what Bay looks like. So now that I have everything on my face already, I just am gonna use this powder to set and diffuse everything. So let me grab a brush and we'll get it put on my face. So I'm gonna use the Morphe E65. Morphe does not make their e-brushes anymore. Morphe, I might do a video on that. As a former Morphe employee, I might talk about Morphe a little bit, but here is Bay, and I'm gonna use Bay to set my face. So there's some pickup on the powder, but that doesn't bother me. The powder I normally use, I love the Kosas powder. And, oh. Okay. I love the Kosas powder. There's a little bit more coverage to this powder than I expected. But I love the Kosas powder, and I love the Patrick Star One Size powder. Huh. Okay. This powder does have like some coverage to it. I'm not complaining, I just didn't expect it. I haven't watched anyone's videos on it, so. And I'm not picking up too much on my brush. I just want to use it to diffuse and blend everything together, if you know what I mean. So it is said to be blurring. I don't feel like it's anything crazy. It's pretty though. I think my face does have like a soft filtered effect on it. But the One Size powder is super blurring as well, so I guess I'm kind of used to it. Now, this is Bay all over my face. And we're gonna go in with Cove under my eyes and like here near my nose, just to brighten a little bit, but I'm not gonna use too much because my under eyes are already a little bit bright. And this is a Morphe M448. A lot of my brushes are Morphe. I used to work there, so I'm gonna grab a little bit, a very little bit, and just press that under my eyes. I'm starting here, and then I'm gonna like diffuse the rest of the color under my eyes. That's pretty though. Here, like in this area where I do have some pores, I don't really suffer with large pores or texture, but everyone has pores. It is super blurring here. And like I said, I'm placing it here and then I'm blending the excess under my eyes just to brighten some. I'm going to place a little bit of this on the center of my forehead as well, because I do highlight there and in between my brows. Also going to place a little here on my chin and a little bit around my mouth. So that is Bay and Cove. Is that what it is? Bay and Cove? Yeah. So that is Bay and Cove on my face. It is very lightweight. I don't feel like it's heavy on the skin. I do not like a heavy powder. I don't like my face looking super powdery, so I am going to spray my face with the Charlotte Tilbury spray. I know some people don't like setting spray with powders when you're trying a powder because they want to see how it wears, but I gotta keep my same routine personally, and I am going somewhere, so I need to keep my same routine. But I will say it is very pretty. It's blurring. It kind of gives like a soft matte focus type of look, diffused look. And I am wearing the Makeup by Mario foundation, so this one is not like a very blurring foundation. It's kind of luminous. To me, it's a satin finish, but it's not super blurring. So this definitely came in and blurred everything. Do I think it's worth $36? Everybody has a different value of $1. What I'm gonna say is I have to wear it and see how it wears. Because the way inflation is working, we're gonna see if it's worth it. So I'm gonna set my face and then I'll hop back on in a couple hours for a update. Yeah, so here's my face all set with Bay all over, Cove under my eyes, center of my forehead, kind of in my T-zone area. And then I set everything with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. So I'm gonna wear this. I'll check back in. It is currently 3:52, so I don't think I'll get like an 8-hour wear with this. Maybe, because I'm doing something tonight, but I don't know. But I'm gonna wear it, and then I will check back in probably in like 3 or 4 hours just to show you guys how it wears. My skin type is normal, oily. I do get a little bit oily here in my T-zone, but nothing crazy. I would say I'm pretty normal, but sometimes I do get a little oily. So yeah, I think it's a super pretty powder so far, but I'm gonna let y'all know if it's worth $36 because that's kind of high for just a setting powder. Like, it's not a powder foundation. It does give a little bit of coverage, but it's not a powder foundation. You feel me? I normally am a fan of NARS complexion products, like the Soft Matte Foundation, the Light Reflecting Foundation, the Natural Radiance Foundation. Look, I have them all and I love them all. So I'm kind of biased because I do like NARS, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys if it's worth it. Overall, right now it looks pretty, but I'll check back in a couple hours and I'll show you guys how it's wearing. So I'll be right back. So it is now 12:09 p.m. you guys. I think my last check-in was at like 4-ish. So that's what, 8 hours? So yes, I have had this powder on for over 8 hours. I want to say probably like 9, 10 hours. Probably around like 9 and a half. And I have not touched up, not once. I don't have not 1 ounce of shine. I don't have not one bit of separation. I just, it shocked me. And honestly, okay. So it shocked me because it wore so well, but at the same time it didn't shock me because NARS does not miss with complexion products. For me, it just works. So again, I have the shade Bay all over my face, and then I have the shade Cove like in my T-zone area under my eyes to brighten and all of that. So I'm gonna say it's a go, you guys. Like, I think that it is like such a beautiful powder. Like, I was shocked at how well it's just held up. No separation at all. I don't have any oiliness. Like, I just think it's stunning. So the feel of this powder, like when I felt it in Sephora, it's very okay. It's very creamy, but if you have felt MAC Studio Fix powder, how it has that like dense creaminess, this kind of feels like that. I was trying to compare like what it feels like, but it has that like dense creaminess. So this is Bay. It's very yellow, very, very yellow. And then this is Cove. And I just want to show you guys what they look like on my skin tone. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I have no complaints. I was going back and forth if I was going to keep the powder because they're almost $40 a piece. And I was like, if they don't do what they're supposed to do, they're going back. But they exceeded my expectations, you guys. And I also want to comment on the size. Like, they are so thin. Let me compare. So here's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless, and it's like thinner than that, like it's smaller than that. Can you guys see? NARS, you just don't miss. So what, I mean, money wise, if it's worth it to you, that's for you to decide. To me it is, and I think it's an amazing product. Like, one thing though is if you have dry skin, I don't know if you'll really like it, because it's a powder. It's not one of those like no powder like the Dior Backstage no powder. It's not one of those. It's not like the Kosa's Cloud Set powder. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but that's in like my everyday makeup bag. It's a denser powder, so if you don't like powder, you might not like this. But for me, it's for sure staying in my collection. I might even buy another shade to see how it works as like bronzer. And I'm gonna give it to NARS because I will say it's worth it. I didn't really think anything was gonna compete with my One Size powder, but this is. I would say it has like a medium amount of coverage. You guys see when I put it on, it kind of like blurred out everything, and I was like, oh, I didn't know it was coming like that, but it was, and it did, and it performed. It's been 8+ hours and I have not touched up at all. I have not touched my face, so no complaints here. If you are interested, I would say go out and get it because it is so worth it. $36. I think it comes in like 8 shades. Don't quote me on that, but I think it comes in like 8 or so shades. Let's see for sure. Yes, 8 shades, and it's a gorgeous setting finishing powder. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think if you tried it. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. But let me know what you think if you tried it. And let me know, like, shade-wise, what you think about the shade range. These are not foundations. They're just setting powders. So for me, it's good. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. God bless you, and bye.